Hi, today we find out why Abram kept going, why he seemed to be disobeying God. When God said, "You can claim this land is yours." But he didn't. He stayed for a short while, built 2 altars, and then he kept going. He kept going south. So why did he do that? And today we answer that. We read in Genesis chapter 12, starting in verse 10 and ending in verse 14. Let's go. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said to Sarai his wife, "Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look at. Therefore it will come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, 'This is his wife,' and they're going to kill me. But they will save thee alive. Say, please, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee." And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair. You see, now we find out why Abram kept going. There was a famine in the land. Abram was going down into Egypt to sojourn there. Now, according to the Webster's Dictionary of American English, doesn't matter what year, to sojourn is to dwell for a time, to dwell or live in a place as a temporary resident or as a stranger, not considering the place as his permanent habitation. Verse 10 adds that the famine was very bad. Now, before they approached the borders of Egypt, Abram had a serious talk with his wife, as we just read. And let's put this in modern English. "I know that you're a beautiful woman to look at, so when the Egyptians see you, they'll say, 'This is his wife.' Then they'll kill me, and they're going to let you live. Just say you're my sister, that it may go well with me because of you, and that my life may be spared for your sake. After all, I'm your husband, right?" That wasn't it. That wasn't in the Bible, okay? Wow. Didn't God just tell him the land of Canaan would be his and his descendants? That would mean he would remain alive until he had children, at least. Abram wanted to ensure he wouldn't die prematurely by compromising with Sarai into a half-truth. Now, technically, Sarai was his half-sister after all. But a half-truth is still a lie, isn't it? Abram's faith was still weak. He wanted to ensure that God's prophecy was going to come true. Abram should have stayed in Canaan in spite of the famine. In hindsight, that's what we can say. But since he was in Egypt, he should have been open and consistent in his testimony. The same with Sarai. Following human reason instead of God's word, they compromised instead, didn't they? Sure enough, when Abram entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was really very beautiful. Now, given the same circumstances, I had to give it a thought. I wonder how strong my faith would have been given the same circumstances. Would I be trying to do it my way instead of God's way?